Have you seen the picture of Lady of Justice in the courts with blindfold on her eyes?
Lady of Justice, Swami. I have not seen Swami.
You are that lady with blindfold on your eyes.
Huh? Blindfold? Because I'm blind, is it, Swami?
Just stop now. Mute.
Okay.
The Lady of Justice is a Greek goddess. Her Greek name is Themis. So she has a measuring scale in her hand. In Hindi it is called taraju. Weighing scale. And her eyes is blindfolded. So they say that her eyes are blindfolded because she was not present at the place of crime. So she has not seen it, and this represent also that she is unprejudiced, impartial. She is not affected by emotions. She will do justice only on the basis of evidence. So she cannot be influenced by your emotions, and for her everyone is equal. There is no one who is rich or poor. She is not partial towards this religion or that religion. She is totally impartial. That's why there is a blindfold over her eyes. But for me it looks like this symbol is absurd. Instead of having a blindfold over her eyes should be crystal clear, should be like a mirror which reflects everything as it is, which is not affected by emotions or thinking, which is able to see things as it is. So for that, the better symbol would have been the third eye of Shiva. She should have that third eye. This third eye is symbolic of witnessing consciousness, which is able to burn, destroy all the lies. This third eye is free from duality. That's why it is one. Our physical eyes are two. This third eye is only one. Because if there is two, there will be duality. The two cannot be impartial. Only the eyes of witnessing is able to see things without any prejudice, without any conditioning, without any program. So I feel that meditation should be absolutely essential, especially for those who have to do justice. Otherwise, they may claim anything that they are not affected, but they are affected. They can be bought by money. they can be coerced by force. Their judgment can be affected by their own mental state. If you are not a witness, if you have not reached to the highest peak of consciousness, you can anytime be clouded, or your brain can be made muddy, muddled, puddled, whatever. So only a man of witnessing can remain impartial. But when you say that this lady of justice is blindfolded, her justice looks very mechanical. It is not auspicious for human beings. When even your two eyes should be open. That will when your eyes are open and you have achieved to a witnessing consciousness, when you have come to a very high level of consciousness, then by observing also you can see who is the criminal and who is lying and who is not the criminal. But if you put blindfold over your eyes, then what kind of justice you will do? So instead of developing the third eye of Shiva, in India we call Shiva's third eye. And what is the function of this third eye? It destroys all lies. It destroys the lust. In India, the god of lust is called Kamdev. So when the third eye of Shiva opens, then the fire comes out of it and it destroys Kamdev. It is just symbolic that when you have achieved to this high level of consciousness, when you have become the witnessing consciousness, then all these lower things cannot stand it. They will be reduced to ashes. So if we want this, our legal system, our justice system to be more evolved, meditation is absolutely essential. And their representation, their symbol is absolutely wrong. Then this is Lady of Justice. It should never be Lady of Justice. If you want to represent, because consciousness has no form, so if you want to give it a form, at least that person should have been a man, because man is less affected by emotions. Female are more affected by emotion. I am not being gender biased, but when you are representing something, it should be the best possible symbol. And this Lady of Justice, they say that it is like, it makes no difference whether you are rich or poor. But when you are yourself blind, when you cannot see things, then what kind of justice you expect? And she has a weighing scale in her hand, so wherever the evidence will be more stronger, she will give justice. But when you have a weighing scale and your eyes are blindfolded, what you will be able to see? So the symbol is not right. And in India there is a story, not a story, it's a real, I don't know whether it's historical or not, but let us assume it is historical. So there was one king called Dhritarashtra in Mahabharata, and he was married to a woman, her name was Gandhari. So Dhritarashtra was blind from his very birth. So when Gandhari met her husband for the first time, she also put a blindfold over her eyes. She said that when my husband cannot see light, my husband cannot see anything in the world, and I will also, why should I see anything? If he is suffering, I will also suffer. This look as if this is a great love, but this is stupid. If your husband is blind, then you should become his eyes. He will see life, he will see light through your eyes. You have to become his translator, his interpreter, his light, his life, his vision. When both of you have become blind, and this is even greater, it's a very miserable state. And the story is that because he was blind, this blindness represented that he was very infatuated. He was very much attached to his son, who was not a good human being, who was an evil character. So he was very partial towards him. He was not a just man. And because of his attachment to his son, because of his infatuation to his son, he went on doing all kind of wrong thing. He allowed all kind of injustices to happen because of his blind, infatuated kind of love towards his son. And then the destruction of the whole clan happened. The war of Mahabharata happened, in which thousands and thousands of people died because of the blindness of this man. So if his wife Gandhari had not blindfolded her eyes, then she could have guided him in right way, in right direction. She could have seen what her son was doing. But when she is herself blind, then she cannot see how he is every day becoming from bad to worse. So both of these parents were responsible. Then there were other characters also, like Bhishma Pitama, who said that I will always stand for the man who will be on the throne. I will always protect him. So he also went on protecting those evil forces. So this is the story of the life. And then there was their teacher called Dronachar, because he was being paid by this king. All his bread and butter and all kind of luxury was provided to him by this king Dhritarashtra. So he was also loyal to them. And he was the teacher of martial art, teacher of archery and other kind of warring instruments. So he taught both the side. He was the teacher of both the side who fought. But he chose the evil side, because they were the one who were paying him, who were managing his economy, his bread and butter. So if you are all infatuated, or if you have all surrendered your freedom because of bread and butter, or because of other kind of unintelligent way of living, then inauspicious thing will happen. And this is what is happening in Nupur Sharma's case also. The man who, the Supreme Court lawyer, Shurikant, who had given his observation on this case, what he said is absolutely absurd. He said that it is Nupur Sharma who is responsible for whatever has happened after she said some few lines on Prophet. After that, whatever violence has happened, she is responsible for that. Now this is so absurd, so ridiculous. Those who have killed, those who have murdered innocent people, they can't even understand English, what she has said. And just 2 sentences, 3 sentences, which is also part of their religious text. If you have said, quoted this scripture, how can it be responsible for violence? It is like when the cartoon of Prophet was made somewhere. There was so much violence, so much killing everywhere. But a man who has no picture, how can you make a cartoon of that person? So these are such absurd things. And when judges are so unjust, when his intelligence is so clouded, I don't know why he said these things, whether he is part of leftist ecosystem, whether he has been bought, or maybe he has some greed for promotion, whatever it may be. But what he said is absolute nonsense. That whatever is happening in the country these days, Nupur Sharma is responsible for it. The Muslim mullahs go on saying the same thing many times, but no violence happens. The ex-Muslim also say the same kind of things, but no violence happens. Why it happened? Because she said it, and that also she was provoked. She didn't say it without any provocation. The man who was provoking, I will call him Battamiz Bimari. I am not saying his real name, because what is the point of saying such insignificant people name? But this man is always insulting Hindu gods and Indian way of life. But no one has killed him, no one has chopped his head. And this time also he was the one who provoked her. And then she said few things which was nothing to get so boiled up. Because you are so serious, you are so dead serious. That's why you are ready to kill people without any crime. Because seriousness is a basic disease. Such small things, small words, and you are ready to chop people's head for a person who may or may not have existed. The real life of a real human being, concrete human being who is living here, has no value. And all these people from all over the world, they are threatening to kill her, chop her head, to put her in jail, and threatening to rape her sister. And now they are waiting that some kind of justice will happen in the court. Court will decide whether she has done any criminal act or not, and what should be her punishment. Now the whole country is so blind, the whole world is so stupid, that what more punishment you want to give her? She is so much punished already. You have destroyed her whole life. She cannot come out of her home, maybe for her whole life. And what kind of inner state she must be going through? What kind of fear must be there? What kind of effect that will have on her health? Who will pay price for that? Even if you one day declare that she has not committed any crime, you have punished her enough. And those people who want to chop her head, who want to kill her, can't you see that they are also such criminals? They are such brutes. Just for 2 sentences, they want to chop the head of a woman. They have already killed so many people. Instead of punishing them, instead of being absolutely brutal to them, you are talking utter nonsense. Your name is Suryakant. It should be Nishakant or Andhakar Kant. Surya means sun, but there is no sun in your life. Your life is full of darkness. And if this is the justice coming from a top judge of Supreme Court, then what to expect from others of lower courts? And you have already influenced by your observation. Any court, now they are saying that you have such a big ego, you have come directly to the Supreme Court. Go to the lower courts first. Now you have already influenced them, all these lower courts. Because when this kind of observation is coming from a Supreme Court lawyer, a very famous lawyer, then they will be all under its influence. They can never remain impartial or unprejudiced. They will be influenced by your observation. And this country, which has tremendous respect for women, in India we call that wherever women are respected, there the divine forces live, there the divinity live, there the devtas reside. And you have no respect for women. Something which is delicate, which is soft, has to be dealt with carefully. Feminine energy has its own power. But that power is very delicate, very soft. And if you have lost that femininity within you, a man and woman both can have femininity. If you have lost it within you, then you have lost something of tremendous value. If you have become a brute force, if you have allowed the brute force to possess you, then you have destroyed your own possibility of becoming someone of higher consciousness. And this woman has a femininity. Nowadays most of the females are losing their femininity. She has not yet lost it. And when you disrespect a female, an authentic female, a genuine female, then you are disrespecting your own mother. And a person who cannot respect a female or cannot respect his mother cannot respect anyone. In your ego trip, because you are intoxicated with this, you are drunk with your power. You are intoxicated by your power. But how long this power is going to last? all those people who who had this illusion that they will remain in power always. They go down the drains. And you are having this illusion that whatever you will say has to be listened. This is tyranny of justice. You are being a tyrant. Now those people who were doing such criminal acts for 2.5 years in Maharashtra, it began with the killing of Sushant. And then they went on doing all kind of criminal acts. They were thinking that they were never going to be replaced. Now the power has gone. They are finished. And one of the men in the most powerful of those party who was ruling, he is also Sadal Pakal. That means a rotten person. A person who has become both of his feet are in grave. Now one woman just shared, she has just copied and pasted some poetry. And he and his blind followers thought that this woman has used sarcastical language to insult him. So they put her in the jail for more than 1 month. Now, is this a justice? And the court court is also involved in it. So they are all doing criminal acts in a very legal way. You are doing criminal acts. It is a legally sanctioned crime that you are doing. So if the people who are supposed to do justice, they start giving such absurd observations, then what to expect from people who are of lower posts, when the most responsible have become so irresponsible? And they are, instead of doing justice, it looks like the law of jungle, where anyone who is more brutish, the legal system, the justice will tilt in his favor. What they are trying to do is that they want to bring Sharia law from the back door. And some of the judges in Supreme Court is helping them. I don't know what is their helplessness. But what they are seeking is that no one should say any word against Prophet, otherwise he should be killed. That's why they are so aggressive, so restless that she should go to jail, or our legal system should punish her quickly. Why she is still outside the jail? And why she went to the court, to Supreme Court? She said that because in many states of India, there are FIR against her. So they are calling in all these different states. And in India we have about 28 states and 8 union territories. So if in all of these states and union territories, if FIR is filed against her, then she will have to go to all these places. So she said that let it be let it happen at one place. But this man didn't listen to her. And if she has to go to any other place other than Delhi, if she leaves Delhi, then there will be tremendous possibility that they will kill her anywhere. And if the state is not favorable to her, they can kill her in any way, and no one will ever know what was the cause of her death. So, and we think these are places where we will get justice. You can get justice only at a place where people of high consciousness are there. They may have studied lot of books, but they are the same kind of unconscious, and they may have the same kind of criminal mind. They are just wearing black cloth which give them sanction that they can do any crime wearing this cloth. So until and unless in our education system we find the way to make man more evolved in his consciousness, all these people, whether they are doctors or engineers or professors or scientists or judges, they can do any kind of unconscious act because they are unconscious. They may have studied lot of books, but that can make them a Frankenstein monster. You are so well informed, you can twist the legal system, the law books in your favor, and because you have become very cunning and clever, you have lost all your innocence. And this kind of blind justice, the lady of justice wearing blindfold over her eyes, this justice will be very mechanical. In it there is no heart involved, there is no feeling. A man of meditation, a man of higher consciousness goes above feeling. But these people are below feeling. They are stone-hearted. They have no feeling at all. What you are doing, what is happening in this country. For last few days, maybe more than 1 month. Now she is a woman who has a husband who must be having children. She must be having children. So all of them, all her relatives, her mother and father, and they must be all suffering. They must be completely terrified. And this is your justice, this is your observation. And if any common man says anything against you, this is contempt of court, so you should be put behind the bar. What kind of freedom of speech we have in this country? No one is a god here. They may be judges. They may be creator of laws. But this is no divine law. This is all humanly created laws. If I give you an example, that in America, the judges are either of Republican Party or of the Democratic Party. So perhaps now the judges in Supreme Court of America is from the Republican Party. They have given a judgment in which they have said that if woman has become pregnant, whether it is the pregnancy is wanted or unwanted, whether she has been raped or whatever, she cannot abort. She will have to give birth to the child. Now this is utter idiocy. Who are you to decide? It is for woman to decide whether she wants that child to be to be given birth or not. And if it is coming out of rape and she is not allowed to abort, then I don't think she will ever be able to love the child. So it will be suffering for the mother and for the child throughout their life.